every time I close my eyes.
If you like to talk to tomatoes.
Every time I wake up. When I do literally anything.
There's never a show like VeggieTales. There's never a show like VeggieTales.
Welp, in an attempt to get this godforsaken song out of my head, it's time to go back to talking about VeggieTales, a show which is supposed to star characters who are vegetables, yet one of its protagonists is a tomato. My torture for the weekend is the second episode of the show, God Wants Me to Forgive Them, which I actually do remember watching when I was a kid, and wanting to shut it off and do something else because it was really boring. Now that I have evolved into a depressed and cynical college student, I mainly just find it to be stupid. But I'm still wasting my time watching shows aimed at toddlers because I am very sad. While last time we got a shitty adaptation of a shitty Bible story, this time we get crappy original ideas and a crappy moral. Yippee! This episode centers around the topic of forgiveness, and what better way to teach kids about it by giving them scenarios where they absolutely should not forgive someone. Both segments have characters do something that they have to apologize for so they can be forgiven, and instead of having it be a simple mistake like they broke their mom's favorite vase or they ate their friend's cookies, we head down the stupid route. The writers opt for a desperate attempt to push the moral message forward, which results in it being pushed so hard that it falls flat on its face. The first segment starts with a little boy being harassed by an old couple, their shitty daughter, and their adult son.
Well, you know he just turned 18 years old.
This family is a family of grapes, my favorite vegetable.
Hey, what's all the commotion out here? Ooh, grapes!
Oh my god, my son is crying. Ooh, grapes!
He also told them that God wants us to be kind to everybody, and that when we act mean, it makes God feel sad too.
Unless you're killing them atheists or going up to a mountain to traumatize your son, then it makes him very happy.
Now, Junior, is there anything you'd like to say to the grapes?
Like what?
Junior's dad explained to him that when someone says they're sorry for hurting you, and they really mean it, we need to forgive them. That way we all feel better.
No, I'm not going to give you closure. You don't get that. You have to live with the shitty thing you did for the rest of your life. You have to know that it's never, ever going to be okay.
You know, if it were other brats Junior's age, it might be okay for you to tell him that. But when it's grown-ass adults who you have to teach right from wrong, you should not be telling your 5-year-old son, whom they were hounding to the point where they made him cry, to forgive them. And again, I'm not a parent, so what do I know? Maybe this shit is parenting 101. But plot twist, immediately afterwards, they continue to be pricks.
And you're telling me I'm supposed to forgive him again?
And because God always forgives us, we need to forgive others when they hurt our feelings too.
Well, how many times am I supposed to forgive him?
Matthew 18:22. Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7.
Yeah, that's a good lesson for the kids. Hey, honey, I know this is the 20th time I've beaten you, but I'm really, honest to God, sorry, and you still have to forgive me 470 more times. Hey, son, I've lost track of how many times I've pressed out my cigarettes on you, but I'm pretty sure I still have a few more forgiveness points to get out of you. Now, normally I would go into a long rant about how this mindset is used to justify abuse, but I'm the loser spending the weekend writing a second review for VeggieTales, so I'll pass on climbing up the moral high ground. Long story short, everything sucks and I want to die. Thank you. Now, Junior, don't listen to these insane people. Obviously, you can't forgive someone who does something bad to you until you punish them first. Then you beat their descendants for years until you get a 13-year-old girl pregnant so you can torture your son for a few days, making him take the punishment meant for the ones who wronged you. Only then can you truly forgive a person. Unless they don't know you exist, enjoy a little one-on-one time with themselves, or love someone of the same gender, then that's a personal offense to you and you're liable to kill them. Well, that was stupid, but at least it's not as bad as its sister episode. The second segment has Larry daydream and crash a boat into rocks, getting himself, his best friend, and 3 innocent civilians stranded on an island without a phone. Now, what do you think this dorky, lovable cucumber will do to earn forgiveness? A. Try to find a way off the island, doing his best to correct his mistake. B. Do most, if not all, of the required labor to help his friends survive. Or C. Ditch them to fend for themselves because they didn't automatically forgive him.
I said I was sorry.
No, it's not gonna cut it. Not this time. So you can take a little apology and cram it up your ass.
Not good enough? He means He means I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Goodbye, Bob. I hope you find a first mate that's good enough.
Another wonderful message. If you fuck up and get your friends in trouble, don't try to correct your mistakes. Just get up and walk away, leaving them alone to deal with your mess until they decide to forgive you. Are we even supposed to want to see these two make up? Well, I guess they're continuing the show's trend of toast-flavored characters. I got a lot of comments on my last VeggieTales review from people saying that they forgot this cartoon even exists, and I think one of the reasons this show is a bit forgettable is because the characters are so bland. Larry is the only one with a distinct personality of being a dim-witted goofball, but even then there's not much to him. He's a dunce, and that's about it. Bob is there. I guess he's supposed to be a straight man to Larry, but the most he ever gives in response to him is an annoyed expression. I remember his scenes with Larry being a lot more entertaining, but now that I look back on the show, I realize that I made up most of those fun interactions in my head. My parents insisted that the show was good for me, and so I fabricated certain things about it to make it more enjoyable. How sad. Every other character from the show I didn't even remember existing before I decided I wanted to review some episodes. Talking vegetables should not feel like robots blandly following their programming. In fact, upon returning to this episode in particular, I remembered a rewriting of it I did in my head where it ended with Junior going Super Saiyan and brutally murdering the grapes. I was a weird kid. I kinda want to see that ending now. Like I've said before, I think VeggieTales as a whole is a cute show, but this episode is just plain awful. The moral is the exact opposite of what we should teach children, and the characters are brain dead and boring. They also don't know the difference between fruits and vegetables. If you want to keep your kids quiet, give them something else. With that, I'm out. Quiz thingy! I don't really have any good ideas this time around, so were there any shows you rewrote in your head to make them more exciting than they really were? Tell me about it down below, and I'll see you next time, hoping that I don't die. Bye!